Happy Thursday, everybody. I'm Mariquita Solis, vegan empowerment coach, and I'm excited to be here today. We have a special guest, Peter Goldstein of WeDidIt.Health is joining us. Hi, Peter.
Hello.
And welcome everyone who's watching. Please let us know if you're watching on YouTube. Hit the like and subscribe, please. I love my subscribers, and so does Peter. WeDidIt.Health. Hit subscribe. Hit that little bell, ding, ding. And if you're watching on StreamYard, give StreamYard permission to use your name. We'd love to hear your comments and questions because that's why we're here. We're here to help everybody. Peter he has got such a wealth of knowledge, and he's really stepping up for our environment, the planet, for world hunger, for people. So I'm excited that you're here, Peter. Welcome.
Well, thank you so very, very much. It's my pleasure to be here with you and with everybody else watching us live and watching us into the future. This is very exciting. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Peter. Let's get started on your vegan journey. I would love to hear about how you became vegan.
Oh, certainly.
Or whole food plant-based. First, whole food plant-based, maybe? Or you tell me how it went.
You bet. Well, first, actually, it was vegetarian. And that happened nearly 20 years ago when I was doing personal growth kinds of things, and I was doing work with Tony Robbins. And my very first event with Tony Robbins was that at the end of the event, he challenged the audience with a 10-day challenge. And the challenge was to be vegan, to not smoke tobacco, and to not consume alcohol. So that was the 10-day challenge. And I wasn't smoking and I wasn't really drinking. So what I took away from that was to be vegetarian. So the very first night, somebody offered me a chicken dinner and I refused it. And it was actually the easiest thing I've ever done. And, I went through all these years telling people that it's becoming vegetarian was so easy and not eating meat was so very easy for me. And, lately I'm starting to wonder if the fact that I had just gone through 4 days of personal power, exercises and work, and if that's what really put me in the mindset. But any rate, it was the easiest thing I've ever done. I don't miss meat. I never had meat since then. And then about 6 years ago, I was looking to do some work promoting wellness and featuring some experts. And one of the experts that was in our program was a doctor, Dr. Greg Feinsinger in Carbondale, Colorado. And I noticed that what he was doing, he was plant-based, whole food plant-based, and he teamed up with a chef and he started prescribing to his patients a 28-day frozen meal program. So every week, his patients for 4 weeks, they would subscribe to it. Every week they would get 7 dinners and 7 lunches frozen, prepared and frozen. And sure enough, everybody's blood work changed. Everybody got healthier, and that really got my attention. So it's just phenomenal how powerful food as medicine really is. So from that point on, I've been whole food plant-based. Personally, I've lost 50 pounds. My triglycerides and cholesterol were they weren't just high; they were way off the charts high. And I never wanted to take medications. To me, pharmaceuticals were to be avoided, and so I never did. But then the food changed my blood work. I lost all the weight. My blood work came to normal, and I've been happy and healthy ever since. I'm very energetic. I'm not on any kinds of meds, and I'm going strong. And I'm so appreciative of the food and my energy levels and my health. It's amazing. Then with my work promoting a whole food plant-based lifestyle, I started noticing about animal compassion. And the more I saw, the more it touched me, and the more I realized that this is really huge. And to be a conscious, compassionate person, I care about animals. I mean, to me, it's just amazing how we care about dogs and cats, but then we'll go eat pigs and cows. And to me, that just makes no sense. It's all, they all have consciousness and intelligence and feelings. And I mean, I remember I was living at one point, I was living in a farming area, and there was lots of cattle, and it was in the mountains. And so every spring they'd bring cows and take them up to pasture in the mountains. And lucky them, at least they weren't living in a little cube somewhere in a factory farm. But they take them up to the mountains, and then in the autumn they bring them back down and ship them off, and they separate the babies from the mothers, and the crying. Yeah, it was just amazing. I mean, the feeling, it's horrible. It's amazing now to me that we care so much about pets, and we care so much about other people, but so many people just are turning a deaf ear and blind eyes to what's going on with animals. And so that came to me, and very powerfully. And of course, noticing what we're doing to the environment, and amazingly how being vegan and plant-based is the solution for climate change. And lately, I've also added a fourth area of concern, and that's world hunger. So as it turns out, it takes, I think, 6 or 7 times as much grain to feed cows and chickens as it would take for people to eat and and be well fed. So for us to be putting 6, 7 times more food into raising and torturing and killing cows and chickens, and then I think it takes 2,500 gallons of water to get a pound of meat. I mean, none of this makes sense. So that's been my journey. In a couple words or less, that's where I've been, and that's where I am now. Thank you so much for asking.
Well, thank you for sharing. I love that because you are an example of how we start out. A lot of people I hear don't like whole food plant based, right? But I know so many people that started out whole food plant based, and now they're advocates for the animals, and they now they call themselves vegan. So I love whole food plant based people. I think that's beautiful because they're eating what I want them to eat, and maybe they're not 100%, but at least that's on the journey. So
Right.
yeah.
Right. And it equally, I'd like to speak up for people from the whole food plant-based community, and especially the doctors. I know they would all love for more vegans to understand the health benefits of not just being vegan, but also being salt, sugar, and oil free, because there's so much research that shows that that's what our body needs. And Dr. Greger with nutritionfacts.org, their organization is to review all the nutritional studies in the English language, and I think they must have reviewed well over 100,000 studies, and they all show the importance of being plant-based or vegan, and also limiting salt, sugar, and oil. And that's just what our bodies need. That's what our immune system needs to be strong and healthy. So as a side effect of our work, I think we get to cross-pollinate the communities so that vegans can eat healthier, and because that's what leads to health, and whole food plant-based people can really start understanding how important it is to take care of these animals, and not to be eating them, not just from the human health perspective, but really for the planet, and for compassion.
Amen to that. Yes. And I know that when I stopped eating, like really cooking without, I'm not cooking without oil, and I can tell, like, I don't have those sugar cravings anymore. I guess it's because of the fat and the sugar combined, right? I used to see a plate of chocolate chip cookies and I'd be like, oh my gosh, right? But I don't have that anymore. And I know it's because I'm cooking with vegetable broth a lot of times, and just plain old water if I don't have vegetable broth. But it's really changed my taste buds and my cravings, which is such a blessing, because I mean, it's
Yeah.
horrible to be feeling that addiction to sugar. I mean, where it's so powerful. But like today, I was craving radishes and stir fry. So that was great.
Beautiful. Yeah, it's really amazing, and a lot of people have some sense of the fact that salt, sugar, and oil are addictive, but the fact is that it's a very powerful science, and the food companies, the food industry, has engineers, scientists on staff to configure the food to be just as addictive as possible, so that you can't just eat one potato chip. You can't go to McDonald's. Not that we do, but a lot of other people do. They'll go to McDonald's and eat a burger without the huge Coke, or without the large fries. And the food industry, unfortunately, and really shamefully, has all that down to science. Actually, I'm going to plug that, with our work, we're going to have a whole series with a doctor, a PhD, who is a food scientist, and she's going to talk about all the various topics around how food is engineered. So if you're not part of our community, I'd like to invite everybody to join us and come to some of these talks that we're going to have with some absolutely amazing professionals from all the different nooks and crannies and niches and concepts and topics of all everything to do with health, with animal uh, compassion, with the planet, with world hunger. So
And so that's WeDidIt.Health community.
that's the WeDidIt.Health community, and specifically, then we have, as long as I guess we're plugging this, we have WeDidIt.Health Facebook page, and we have it whole plant-based and vegan ambassadors group, and and then also we provide a certification program and a premium group that can be found at Thrive and Inspire Ambassadors Community. So yes, we're looking to feature all the information, because our mission is to really empower those of us who are already vegan or plant based. And uh, Marquita, if I may, our mission with the work is to provide uh, resources and strategies for ambassadors to be more effective at inspiring our friends and loved ones to be plant-based. So anything that has anything to do with it, getting the right information to the right people at the right time, to have the courage, the compassion, the skills to communicate rather than push people away. Those are the things that our people in our community are arming themselves with. So, because we all care so much about people around us, and the animals and the planet, and this way we can be proactive and more effective.
Yeah, and we've got some of our certified the plant-based ambassadors coming and doing workshops also. So, like, I mean, if you're joining the community and you've got a great workshop to present, that's a wonderful collaboration here. That's the whole point of it, and that's why I love being a part of the community too, because my mission is to help vegans that are struggling and sad, coach them to move into peacefulness first, peacefulness with themselves and other people, so that they can be better communicators and they don't have to be beggars, crying or desperate, feeling that awfulness of like, I've got to get this message out. Well, I mean, that's not a good energy to be presenting, right? So bringing them back to themselves and that calmness, and to go from there. And like you're saying, spreading seeds, like just plant a little seed and not yell at it to grow, just allow it to grow on its own. Like someone might meet you, Peter, and you might plant a seed with them, and then I might meet them 6 months later and I might plant another seed, right? And so someone else might plant another, and we'll see when those seeds are going to take off.
Absolutely, absolutely. we don't have to expect to be able to convert somebody immediately on the spot. And I think historically, looking back at the movements, we have probably pushed away more people than have really inspired with curiosity. So there's different approaches for everybody, and that's part of our work is to meet people where they are, and so we're looking for skills to better understand where somebody is, to read them, to be able to communicate with them, to plant the best seeds. And Marquita, I love what you're doing, and we call our community to thrive and inspire ambassadors community, because first thrive. So thriving ourselves emotionally is so important, because it is just so challenging to be in this world and get pushed away and have to lay low, because we can't get empathy and can't have good connection with people who aren't whole food, plant-based, or vegan. And as it turns out, of course, and this number I hope has been growing, but the number I've seen in the past several months had been that only 5% of the world is vegan. So we're way outnumbered, and it's tough to be such a minority, and then for people not to understand and be ridiculed and looked down on and pushed away. So the work you're doing, Marquita, is just really beautiful, and such an important part of Thrive and Inspire, so that we can, as consumers, be ambassadors to thrive emotionally, to thrive physically with health. We're constantly learning new things, and then to be able to inspire others. So thank you for the work you're doing, and thank you for being part of this community. You're totally amazing, and I appreciate you so much.
Well, thank you, Peter. I'm very honored to be part of it. It's amazing, and it's powerful when we come together. That's what we've got to do, come together. And that's what you're working on so much, is to end the fighting, right? To come together as a team and to communicate in peacefulness. So yeah, it's a great alignment for me. So
Excellent.
thank you. I'm looking at these wonderful comments here, and Heather is saying, I've had the same experience. My craving for sweets just isn't there anymore. And that's so true. When you change the way you eat, your whole body changes. Everything. It's exciting.
Absolutely. And Heather, congratulations, and that's wonderful. So the part of the thing about whole food, plant-based, is that it's all science and evidence-based, and some of that research actually has shown that we change our taste buds. So literally our cells, our body's constantly replacing the cells, and different cells, different areas of our body, they have different life cycles. But I've heard said that our taste buds are about 2 weeks. So really, in a matter of weeks, we can change our taste buds. We can go from craving things that aren't so natural for humans. And really, I guess that's the set point. The set point is to return to what's natural and organic for us. So drinking pop all the time and sugary drinks all the time, that's just not natural for people. So once we release that, we and stop doing that behavior, our taste buds will reproduce, will get new taste buds, will be replaced, and our whole taste, our sensations, our needs for what we're eating shifts.
That's great information, because a lot of people, I mean, if they say, I can't, I'm always going to want this food. That's wonderful to be able to tell them about that change, like our inner change, and the way physically we changed, and then this science. So this is very powerful. These are powerful tools to have, Peter.
Yes.
And so let's look at this, what Susan's saying. I started whole food plant-based to lower my cholesterol. Then I learned about the worldwide horrors of animals bred for food, and how it affects our land, water, and air. 6 months later, I was vegan. That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing. That gives me so much hope to hear things like this, doesn't it?
Beautiful. Susan,
Yeah.
that's great. That's that I parallel your journey with mine, and yeah, whole food, plant based, and then appreciating the animals, and so much information in all sectors of this movement, and it's just I know that we all share this. The more we talk about it, the more we're in community with each other, the more we're supporting each other, the more passionate I know I get about spreading the word, and looking for ways to be more effective, and inspiring others. Yeah, so thank you, Susan and Heather, and uh, thank you so much for sharing, and you're doing wonderful things as ambassadors to spread the world and to make this such a better world than it is. We need to, and we will have a better world for everybody.
Amen again. All right, Peter, I want to hear about your family. When you grew up as a little boy, what were you vegan? Were you vegetarian, or was that around in your family at all?
Yeah, so myself, I was actually born in Europe. I was born in Transylvania in Romania, and uh, no, there were no vegans back there at that time, and this has been a while, and at that time back there. In fact, I grew up in a small town, and uh, occasionally I remembered this, and thank you for reminding me. Is our neighbors next door had chickens and pigs, and every autumn they would slaughter a pig, and hearing the pig squeal and watching the blood run down the the yard, and it's horrible. And I oh my gosh, and culturally, one of the delicacies back there, this is so awful. One of their delicacies was fried blood. I mean,
Oh my God.
you would it's like, what were people thinking? I mean, I guess the really good thing here is that humanity is evolving, because there's no way that we would do stuff like that anymore. Not around here, not in people that I hang out with. Um, yeah, so there was no being vegan. There was, the health things weren't an issue, and of course that was a long time ago. So there weren't people. I mean, the obesity we have nowadays, especially here in America, and the illnesses. It wasn't like that back then. Um, all the processed foods, and it was a lot more natural, and unfortunately it wasn't vegan, but that's the environment I was born in.
Well, I was raised in very much like my parents were both from Mexico, and so we had a lot of beans and rice, but we still ate a lot of meat too. But still, I did have the getting used to eating beans all the time, which I still love, and corn tortillas. So I've let go of the meat happily. My parents never were vegan. My mom passed away before I really got into a lot of the veganism, but she did eat vegetarian for a while. I mean, not completely, but more so, just because she had the influence of me and my brother. And then my father, every time he was around us, of course, he would eat vegan. I remember one time he sent me to the store and he said, "Don't bring me back a vegetarian ham. Don't bring me back a vegan burger." I said, "Okay, I won't." And my brother's like, "Okay, just go to Burger King, get an Impossible." Of course. And so I did. And I'm like, "Here you go." He was like, "Oh, good." And he ate it. He didn't know the difference. So, but yeah, because so he was with us. He did eat a lot of vegan food. He's probably up there looking at me saying, "Ah," right now. But anyway, so that's funny. But I do have a brother who is vegan, and it's a great support. His girlfriend is vegan, and I have a lot of good friends and that are close to me that are. And so, I mean, being around you all is great. I mean, the more we can be around it, the more we fuel each other. So that's powerful.
Beautiful.
Yes. And I want to hear about your family now. You have kids, right, Peter?
Yeah, I'm not sure I want to talk about my family, because I think if I say anything, it'd all be material to blackmail me with.
Okay.
Unfortunately, my family doesn't get it, and it's amazing that people in my family, my generation, most people are pretty ill and overweight, and they don't want to hear about it, and it just puzzles me. To me, the biggest conundrum is, how is it that people just don't want to hear it, and that's what I want to change. I want to get to a place where they'll be curious and they'll say, well, maybe there is something here, and maybe we can, maybe I need to take a look at it. So anything from people my generation being so ill to watching little kids, being fed hot dogs and mac and cheese as a standard diet, and all the milk they can drink. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking, and I would do anything in the world to change that.
Yeah, you're right. It is. It's hard. I mean, it's hard for me, and I'm scared to say this, but I think it's fine. But to see my nephews eating all sorts of junk all the time, it's like I don't even know if they're getting the nutrition they need, and I can't say anything because if I do, then first of all, it's going to go out the window, and the relationship's going to deteriorate. So, I mean, things are a little bit better now with my sister, where she has reached out to my brother because of big health issues, like that she wants to learn about eating eating vegan. So that's a good start. But it's so sad to see people that we love. And what's really important to know is that, so a lot of us feel like, why can't I do something with my family? They won't listen to me, and then we first start to feel really discouraged. But to hear you say the same thing, it's like, and Earthling Ed say the same thing, that it's not us, it's the family is a very complex situation, and oftentimes we are not the best ambassadors, and without knowing so, that we've already broken the ties. Right, because when we first become vegan or plant-based, we want to share it with the world, and we become very vocal, and that turns people off. And we poor things, we don't even know, we don't know, right? We just want to share it, and we don't know it's doing more harm than good. So I mean, it's good to hear your story so people can understand, not to feel bad about themselves if they haven't changed their family. I know I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and she felt bad about not changing her friend. But sometimes these relationships are so close that it's not a good place to be an advocate.
Yeah, and with that said, you're absolutely right. And at the same time, I'd like for us to find ways to shift those beliefs, to start finding ways that we can expect that they will listen to us, and find ways, to have the conversations, find ways, like you said before, we're out planting seeds. But we I'm convinced that we can find ways to identify the cracks to plant the seeds in. So look for those openings, look for those cracks, look for those opportunities, and I know that we can change things, and I know we will, and things are changing. We see it, um, but some of what you were just referring to, uh, uh, working with you, Marquita, I'm excited that we're also going to start covering a topic of healing these relationships. So, initially this work started out with, how do we do things so that we can be better ambassadors and inspire people? But really, really, there's so much that has been done, so much damage that has been done. I think that we need to add that conversation, and I think it's a huge conversation. So thanks to you for bringing that to our attention, and I really look forward to doing lots of conversations and bringing in experts, and just, it's such a beautiful, huge topic, because, and maybe that's the path to inspiring our friends and loved ones, is to first heal those relationships, then maybe we'll have somewhat of an opportunity to also inspire them, because we care so much about them, and we care so much about our relationships, and we all just hate to see them suffering, or abusing animals and abusing the environment, and we know it's the right answer. We know that it's important for them to be plant-based, but perhaps if we can find ways to start healing those relationships, then we'll have a much better opportunity to really reach them and inspire them.
You're right, because like Dr. Angela Crawford says, it has to be a safe space. So the healing has to start first. And then they're opening up. I mean, they'll open up to us. You know, we can build a relationship back. And then, like you said, then you can plant a seed, and maybe you don't plant it with your mouth, but you plant it with a wonderful dish you bring, right? Because maybe they're tired of hearing you talk about it. But sharing this dish and not even saying anything, just putting it down and giving it, and really stepping into the gratitude of being with family and friends, you know, being thankful that they're there and not asking anything from them, but then you are giving, you're showing them who you are, you know, that you are a whole food plant-based. You're showing them your advocacy is through you, right? Through your good health, through the food you bring, through the way you're shining. Sometimes we don't have to, you know, we're not have to speak with this, but you know, by listening and just presenting, it's powerful. So they're different tools, and that's what we're exploring in WeDidIt.Health. What's the best way to be effective in different situations? And sometimes, yeah, sometimes I feel like, okay, let it go, and then wait till they come to you. Also, you know, patience is crucial here, because health issues are going to pop up down the road if they're living on that standard American diet, and pretty much guaranteed. And so for you to have created a safe place for that person, so that person doesn't feel like you're judging him or you're superior, but you know what, they told me about it and I want to find out more. So that curiosity brings them to you, to Peter, right? And to all of us, the ambassadors are just waiting. So we're waiting for the ones to come to us, but we also are going out there for the ones who are ready. But so what we have to do is we've got to have a great kind of a detective mindset to see who's ready, who's not ready, right? We really got to listen to see who is ready, and do we need to back off, and to do that without taking it personally, right? I can leave this alone. I don't have to be mad at the person. They're just not ready. That's okay. So
That's perfect, and that's a great place to start. And once we can get comfortable with that, then there's other steps and other tools. Then once everybody's comfortable, then maybe we can find the right question to ask. So then without looking pushy or anything, but once we can start understanding what their concerns are, what their feelings are, then maybe get better at asking the right question that will offer an opportunity to plant some seeds.
right.
Absolutely.
Definitely. That's beautiful. Yeah. When we listen to them and how are you doing? They might say, well, I'm not doing too well. It looks like I'm pre-diabetic, right? There's an opening right there. So if we burnt the bridge, then we're never going to have that opening. So we've got to do some healing if that's necessary, or go with gentleness and put your ego to the side and remember the animals and the planet, right? And it's not about us. It's not about, are we right and you're wrong? No, it's about we're extending our hand to you. Take it when you're ready. Maybe you're not ready today. That's okay. Maybe next week, we're here for you when you're ready.
Absolutely. I'm noticing we have some really nice comments and feedback here. Would you like to share some of those?
Sure. Trisha's so amazing. She's a new vegan and she's taking off. Great to see you both. It's great to see you, Trisha. She's really working hard for children, for vegan children's health.
Beautiful. Keep up the good work, Trisha.
And Kathy, we just had a
Hello,
holiday
Kathy.
about sugar. Yes, she's a very loyal We Did It ambassador. We had a holiday that's all about sugar. How awful that's such an unhealthy tradition to addict kids. Yes. Give some flashlights or pencils. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I think about that too. And I saw mothers stealing candy on on on, on those little Ring cameras. Yeah, mothers teaching. My gosh. Anyway, Kathy, you got the right idea. um, let's see. I have lunch with my 5-year-old son at his school on Fridays, and it makes me cringe to see not only the amount of animal products they serve, but how big the portions are and how much goes to waste. It's hard to watch it all being dumped in the trash like it's nothing when I know the suffering that went into that waste. Amen. And then also, I mean, there's so many things that are not right here, especially the fact that we're teaching children to overeat and just wastefulness. Goodness sakes, it's very, very sad. And Trisha, it has such a beautiful heart. So my heart goes out to you, Trisha.
Yeah, absolutely, Tricia. Thank you for that. And, the vision for the community is that anybody who's passionate about something specific, like you are here, please be with us, and let's have some special interest groups. Let's share the information. Let's build a library of resources that everybody can use in the schools when they go and see what's going on in their schools, because there's just so much information, so many resources, and so part of having the community then is to build that library to support each other, so then we can be prepared and more ready in situations to move things forward and affect the change. So
Yes, you're right. And it's inspiring when I see someone like Trisha who just went full force into finding her mission and doing it. So many people, well, they don't take action like she has. So she's an inspiration.
yes.
And
Yes.
Heather, thank you for joining us. Heather's been in our mastermind groups, and we did it, which is another thing we need to talk about. If you want to, we could talk about that a little bit, Peter, if you want to.
Sure. Well, and so again, we have a couple communities. We want to contribute as much for free as we can, and then we also have a premium community where we offer certification training and more in-depth support. So the mastermind group, for example, is part of the premium community. So if you're not a member of our premium community, that would mean the opportunity to go through certification, which isn't required, but the uh, the Thrive and Inspire Ambassadors group on Facebook is the community. So please come there. We do have a fee, so the certification and 3 months of membership is at a very low $47 to bundle. So we need to pay the light bills and pay for the internet and everything else. So we'd love to do everything for free, and unfortunately we can't, but we're working hard to keep the costs really low. So uh, the Thrive and Inspire Ambassadors community on Facebook would be the place to come to, and then we'll show you how to register. We have a wonderful training program that was put together based on Dr. Angela Crawford's ebook and work by Dr. Sally Lipsky. Sally's a PhD educator, so she put together a training, wonderful videos, wonderful exercises in our premium community, and then of course the opportunity to have support groups so that we can all be supported emotionally as we go through our day. So we can so we don't have to be so distressed, and we can be with people who understand and find brainstorm and find solutions for everything we go through. So with our community, we're setting up more and more programs, everything from processed foods to children and supporting children going through this, not the vegan children through this life of being surrounded by people who aren't so vegan friendly. Last week, for example, and this was part of our free contributions, Jeff Palmer spoke about the masculine energy, and because so that we can all learn to have different approaches, so we can all meet people where they're at. So if we're up face to face with somebody who's a bodybuilder and very masculine, we may want to take a different approach than we would with somebody who's primarily feminine, and we want to be gentle with them. So the platform, the community is all about looking for all the different aspects uh, that we can come across. We're starting a series next week looking uh, plant-based desserts to take to events with people. So looking at what it takes, recipes, how to create the things that we'd be happy to take to potlucks and family gatherings. Um, what else, Marquita? And Marquita, you're doing such a beautiful job supporting our work and supporting this community. And you've been reaching out to some of these folks that are going to be presenting. And for all of you in our audience, if there's something you're passionate about, something you'd like to share, please reach out to us. We have a calendar where we probably have a spot for something that would help other people and is relevant to being vegan or whole food plant based, or for uh, global hunger or for climate change. So all four of those areas, we're building community. We want people interacting and teaching each other and supporting each other. So that's my
Yeah.
commercial for the moment.
Well, thanks. I wanted now that looks like my signal is waning, but I wanted to say something about the mastermind is in the premium community where we all come together and we have one challenge, and then we all offer support for the person who has the challenge. So and sometimes we are able to talk about two different challenges. So that's in the premium community, and it's a beautiful thing. That it's a beautiful place. That thank you for suggesting that, Peter, for making that happen.
My pleasure. Yeah, we're all coming together and making this a better world, and it's such an honor and so exciting for me to work with everybody and meeting so many amazing people through this process. You know, my life is so good and so exciting and so wonderful. So many beautiful, loving people all around me. So, thank you.
Thank you, Peter. And thank you, everybody. Look, here's a beautiful comment. Dina, lovely and encouraging session. I feel encouraged by talking about this, right? It's not hopeless. I mean, a lot of times we get trapped in that hopelessness, but it's not. Our family and friends can listen. And I mean, it's just about providing a safe environment, right? Not doing what we used to do, letting go of that and stepping into newness. So,
Yeah.
and Kathy, Eric Adams, mayor of New York City, is a vegan and introducing better meals into the school system there. That's very exciting. They might have some hints or strategies regarding on how to approach the schools. Yes, we need that. We need to come together.
Absolutely. Mayor Adams has been doing amazing things. And if you don't know his story, I was talking about him before he got elected, and because I noticed him, he was diabetic and overweight, and he was diabetic to the point that he was actually blind. And he switched to a whole food plant-based diet and lifestyle, and in 3 weeks he got his eyesight back. So he lost lots of weight. He got totally healthy. And then he got elected to be mayor. And now he's doing amazing things in New York City. He's changing the meals in schools and in hospitals. So now hospitals will have to offer, imagine this, what a new concept, a hospital offering healthy food to the patients. I mean, how radical is that? But he's doing it. He's a wonderful example. And I hear things like, you know, Los Angeles is keeping an eye on him, and they want to keep up with him. So he's a major force in what's unfolding. So and his story and things like this is so awesome, because we want to be able to repeat these stories, and we want to have the examples as this is a seed to plant. So, you know, we're talking with somebody who's diabetic, repeating Mayor Adams' story of success versus diabetes. I mean, that will get people's attention.
Yes, it will. Yeah, and these are all great. I mean, it's great to talk about this because some people might not have known about him, but these are great tools to inspire. And that's what
Hmm.
we Health is about, inspiring people. So that's
Yep.
beautiful. And then look, here's Heather's right. It's so hard to watch loved ones eat things that you will know cause health issues. Yes, it's very hard. Sometimes I just have to take a step and I just offer. I mean, whether it's a prayer or like just send loving energy, and just to send kindness to that person because there's no our hands are tied sometimes.
Yes. I'm reading Trisha's beautiful long message about all her successes, and congratulations. And I'm Trisha, you're doing such an amazing job, and it's so wonderful to see you in the community and seeing all the wonderful things you're doing, and all the ways that you're impacting the world. And of course, I know that some of your work is about children, so that's the primary place to go as children grow up. Let's make sure that we don't keep repeating the uh, the health challenges that the more mature, the older folks are having. So part of the answer may be to make sure that children grow up healthy, and have the habits to keep them healthy, and have the habits to be compassionate with animals and the world and the environment. So thank you for all you do, Tricia.
Yeah, Trisha's amazing. She's taking action, like I said. And what was I going to say? Um, well, I don't know what I was going to say. It's all exciting. My mind is just racing with excitement. But
Yes.
yeah, um, and she's, let's see. Now I'm going to look at Zena's comment here. Yes, she didn't realize Eric Adams was actually blind at the time of his plant-based transition. That is such a powerful story to share with that in 3 weeks, everything changed from blindness to good. I mean, to just a good health. I mean, health on a journey to good health, So it's amazing how fast our bodies want to help us when we start feeding them the right thing.
Absolutely. And I'm not a wellness practitioner or health professional, and so I'm a layperson myself. My background is with business. To me, though, what resonates for me is that there's a natural set point. Our bodies, we have this amazing, infinitely intelligent immune system. We have this body that knows totally what to do. I mean, I mean, some of the concepts are absolutely fascinating. I mean, when I think about what what our bodies go through on a regular basis, and how amazingly it has the intelligence to take care of itself. So, I cut myself, and immediately all kinds of things start happening. The right blood, the right chemicals, the right healing starts rushing to the place, and it's just all miraculous. And uh, our body knows what to do. I mean, it's constantly replacing cells, like I was saying about our taste buds, but it's replacing the toenail cells, and it's replacing the cells in my elbow, and it's replacing the cells in my eyes. And you know what? For all the trillions of cells it replaces through my lifetime, I don't believe my body ever put a toenail cell in my eyeball. I mean, it just totally knows exactly what to do. There's this amazing, amazing, infinite intelligence to take care of ourselves. So all we really need to do is fuel our bodies with what it needs, which is also so good for animals and for the planet. But just give our bodies what it needs, and allow our body to take care of itself. And
Yes.
it's really that simple. All this conditioning, all the programming, all the commercials. Marquita, you asked me about my childhood, and actually I was born in Romania and grew up under communism. So it's kind of interesting for me that in my early childhood, I was brainwashed to be communist. And it's just a phenomenal experience. When my family came to the United States, I was really angry. How can we come to the heart of capitalism, to the evil empire, because communism was the right thing? And of course, that's all wrong. But the value of all that for me in my life is that we're going through the same thing with food, with pharmaceuticals. We're being brainwashed by so many aspects of our culture, and it's really just misinformation that we're believing, and it's so powerful. And we need to get past some of that, and we need to really see and come back to what it is that organically, authentically our bodies need, because it's for our bodies, and it's for animal compassion, it's for the planet. It's in alignment with what's meant to be. So
You're right. You're right. And that reminds me because, well, I just finished Victoria Moran's Main Street Vegan Academy, which was amazing. If you all haven't gone, please go. You'll learn so much about how this all ties together. And she's so graceful and lovely. So it was a beautiful experience. But we had Dr. Milton Mills from the WeDidIt.Health, and he was on there, and he was saying how basically we're setting up our children, by giving them all this milk and all this toxic food to just be ready for stents and the statin drugs, be ready for heart disease, high cholesterol, right? We're getting them already in the schools with all the food, so it's really sad. And that is so true. We're just setting up our children. We're not setting up our children for success. We're setting them up for hospitalization. And it's sad. So thank God that there are people like Trisha and other people that are really working hard at different levels, right? For different
and
kind of people.
that's what we need to do. And that's one of the aspects of what we're doing that's so unique is our approach is about grassroots. Because if we reach people at the grassroots, if we reach each other at our everyday lives, so many of us are actually then part of corporations, part of the government. So this way we can come from the grassroots up and see the things that are going on, and be able to speak up and be a voice for what's right, what's healthy, what's conscious, what's right.
Yes. And I know we're getting close on the end, but I want to talk about, so tell us about like the Thrive and Inspire series that's going on. Who are some people that are coming? I mean, I know some people, but why don't you tell everybody who are people
Well,
coming in the We Did It community to talk?
no, would you, you're so much more involved with that. I would love for you to talk about it. Yeah, please,
Okay.
if you would. And you know what, and if you would share the link to our calendar, so everybody needs to know that we are posting a calendar with all the activities, and every Saturday at noon Eastern we have a keynote speaker. This Saturday, I know our topic is going to be about raising vegan children in a vegan unfriendly world. I know we have Linda Middlesworth, a vegan leader, coming up, I think, the week after. We have Dr. Will Tuttle coming up. We have some amazing people scheduled. We're scheduled out through the end of the year and scheduling keynotes into the new year, as well as topics on workshops, semi-monthly workshops and conversations. But would you share that link, please, and some of the we can
Oh,
post the
I don't know
link.
if we have if I can get the calendar link, but I can, let's see. Let me see if I can.
Okay.
Wait a
Yeah,
minute.
we should share it.
Let's see. I think I got it here. I'm gonna.
Yeah. I think we may have to come, if you don't have it, we'll just come back and post it. There it
Yeah,
is.
yeah. I posted, and
Beautiful.
so I know
Yeah.
it can't. Some people can't see it, but so yeah. But reach out to us. We want to talk to you. Send us messages, right? And
Absolutely.
yeah, because we're here for you. Yes. And somebody's saying Victoria Moran's Main Street Vegan Academy. Yes. How beautiful. And thanks for watching, James. And whoever said heartwarming, gentle, kind, caring conversation about sharing an important message about a healthy lifestyle. Thank you so much. Y'all are so beautiful, and you all are what's changing the world, right? Coming together is so powerful. It warms my heart, and I know Peter's heart is touched too. I'm speaking for you now, Peter. I feel like I can. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I think your heart is warm too.
Yeah,
And
absolutely. Thank you. And yeah, I love it. I mean, it's just I'm so touched with all the magnificent people that are coming together here. And thank you, everybody. And I know together we're going to help make a difference. We're just one of the many angles. There's so many people, so many amazing organizations, and I think we have the honor to add another aspect, another perspective, another angle on it all.
yeah, we do. And yes. And what's amazing is, when you come into the community, you might have this incredible new share to give, such new insight that we never knew. So when we all work together, we are so much more powerful. And then we can help each other up if we feel sad. We're there for each other to support. And look at what Trisha said. That's beautiful. She says, I truly have both of you to thank. Marikita pulled me out of dystopia, and Peter, you introduced me to Trevor, who has helped me make my dream a reality. Much love to you both. Thank you, Trisha.
Thank you.
Yes, we have so many wonderful connections here. And so I did want to, let's see, I don't know if I ever answered your little question, your question, but you were talking about how we'd have Dr. Will Tuttle for one of our guests who's going to be, and let me see what he is, well, if I could find it real quick, which I don't know if I can, but we're also going to have Cindy Thompson coming, who is, her specialty is, she seems like she's very well-rounded expert, isn't she?
She is a well-rounded expert. She's a lifestyle coach, and teaches cooking and just all kinds of things. I forget. I should have a calendar in front of me, and I don't. But
yeah, she's amazing. Yeah, because she was in Main Street Vegan Academy presenting, and she had such great tips about how to just share information, like going to the library and putting bookmarks, like vegan bookmarks in health books. So that was wonderful. Like just so many ways to share. That's why I said she was so well-rounded. So Dr. Will Tuttle is going to be talking about shining the vegan light with patience and understanding through the holidays. And that's something that we can all use. So we also have, let's see, then we also have Nina Chantel, who she's a health expert. And she's going to be, like Peter was talking about earlier, sharing plant-based desserts, vegan desserts, to really inspire your guests. And I know a lot of people say, oh, vegan, ugh. But Nina is going to change that. She's going to give you the tools you need so people will be asking you for the recipes. So, and she's very health conscious.
And she's not just vegan, but it's all sugar-free and oil-free. So it's a healthy vegan recipes and that she'll be sharing, and cooking techniques and ideas.
Right. Yes. She's very inspired for health. I mean, she's always sending me messages, and they look great. I mean, she'll send me the little pictures, and you wouldn't even think, wow, that this is healthy. But no, I love her energy. So she's coming up Monday. She's coming up Monday at 2:00.
Yes. Join us Monday at 2:00, and she'll be introducing her series and talking about the various topics that she'll be addressing through this series in our group. But that's 2:00 Monday. Yes, please do join us. It'll be really great.
And the VCOP, right, Peter?
Right. Yes.
Tell us about that.
And we're honored to be part of. Yes, if it's a huge event that I would urge everybody to check out. Dr. Silas Rao's VCOP, Virtual Convergence of the People. It's the 11th. It's a quarterly event, and they're up to number 11. It's an amazing series of presentations. So it's for Saturday and Sunday this weekend. And last time they had 4 different Zoom rooms going. So you can find a topic and an event that you'd want to participate in. I'll be there with Nivi Jawal, and our topic is going to be about ending world hunger and the importance of being plant-based to help alleviate world hunger. And they've developed a really wonderful people stew that is very low cost, that's very nutritious, that's also in alignment with all cultures, eating guidelines. But yeah, please join us and check out the schedule. There's some amazing people and amazing conversations this weekend, and you can find it if you go through Climate Healers and look at their events, and it'll be listed there.
And what time are you presenting?
We're presenting at 4:00 Eastern on Saturday.
Okay, great. So everybody put that on your calendar, and I'll see you all there.
Excellent. Yes.
Well, I guess we should wrap it up. I'm sure we could talk for hours, and I'm so appreciative of everybody watching. And Peter, thank you for all
Thank
this.
you.
This has been wonderful. Is there anything you'd like to say to everyone, Peter?
Well, just namaste, vegan.
Namaste, vegan.
And thank you, and look forward to connecting with each of you, and keep on contributing, keep on planting those seeds, and keep on thriving. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for those beautiful words. All right. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.